Hey, what's up? Tomas Keenan, Step It Up Academy. I've got a story here to tell you today, and it's a story based around core values. So a couple months ago, I was asked to go speak at an event in Salt Lake City. I flew out to the event. I spoke from stage, and it was a disaster of an event. The event actually went off pretty well, but the power went out in that hotel, and literally we had no electricity, no air conditioning in the middle of August in Salt Lake City. So the guy who was running the event, him and his team were awesome. They were super stellar, and they made it happen. The show still went on, even though there was no electricity and whatnot at the event. And this was a problem for me because it forced me to go from this prepared presentation with these slides to, oh, now I got to go speak and kind of shoot from the hip and go tell stories. All right, cool. Fortunately, I've done this in the past. It's not that big of a deal. I've got some pretty cool life experiences. So let me go pick from, we'll call it the basket of life, and go talk about this. So I go up there, I start talking and tell a little bit about my story. And anybody who's heard my story, you know, from starting one business and failing it to growing and scaling other businesses, core values have always been a really big piece of the puzzle. So I go on and I talk about how the importance of core values really made a big difference in my life, in my company, and even in my life here at home with my wife and kids. And afterwards, I sit down and this woman comes up to me and she's like, hey, I would really like to pay you some money to help get my existing business super clear on core values. Is that something you'd be willing to do it for me? And I said, yeah, sure. So a couple of weeks later, we basically signed the contract and I started working directly with her and her executive team to get clarity around these core values. And it took about 5 or 6 one-hour calls spread over a couple of weeks, and we got really clear on these core values very quickly. She got a stellar team. Her team went to work. They all bought in, and they collectively came together and got clarity around the core values of her team and her organization. And here's one of the downfalls to getting clear on core values, especially in a company that has been established for several years and hasn't operated with core values in place. And once you operate with core values, I mean, these are the values. Everyone is now held to this standard. Anybody who's operating below this standard is basically going to be an outcast within the company. So we get clarity around these values. A couple weeks now progress, and this woman who owns this very successful business, her right-hand person comes to her. They have a little bit of a blowout. Just call it what it is. It wasn't shiny and sexy and fun. And this person wound up resigning from her position, a very high-level, high-paid position within this company, resigned from that position because she was no longer a core value fit. Okay, this is one of the downfalls to getting clarity around core values. It's one that a lot of people won't talk about, but it is 100,000% necessary in the evolution and growth of your company. These are the people who will smile to your face, and ultimately on the backside of things when you're not there, they're the ones that are talking the trash about you and doing things to basically get in the way of the growth and evolution of your company. So get clear on your core values if you haven't, implement them, and then go hold people accountable to living and operating that way.